5. We inside today. Let's get dressed. I figure I'd come drop a jewel with y'all real quick. You see the title? The title says, Divine will always be for you as long as you're truth and sincere. I just had a thought, like a drift thought, just for a moment, because um, that's where all the agitation and everything comes from in life. Like that's where, like the weird thoughts and all that shit come from. And if you're not like mentally adequate, that shit gonna wash you every single time. Like, and you know, it's always gonna be that feeling of frustration or some type of. It's always gonna be that type of feeling that feels as if non-accomplishment is available, and that's because majority of the time people carry so much doubt within them. They don't have a true retrospect for divine. It's not a real thing. You know what I'm saying? It's a fake thing. So people think saying it, and ultimately a liar just thinks it can lie to divine. You know what I'm saying? Like through even the values of how people carry the understanding of divine. Like when you start rising, that becomes the next test. You know what I'm saying? Like when you rise for real and they know you're literally carrying the light, individuals start to seek you out in a certain way to try to um, make their existence affect your truth and value, which when it comes to the divine, that shit ain't gonna never happen. You know what I'm saying? But unfortunately, um, it has to get a certain way in order for it to test a certain energy. Like it has to come close in a certain way in order for it to test the energy. And keep in mind, the ultimate power of the adversary is trying to defile the name of the Most High in every single form and fashion. So it's did a good job as far as having people believe on false retrospects of what religion is. On top of that, making you not truly know what you're believing in the first place. You know what I'm saying? So when you are truly believing in something and other energies can't just attach to it, it's because they're truly wrapped in the adversary and they just don't want to face that. You know what I'm saying? Like they really just don't want to face it. So what they end up doing is they try to build rhetoric because the power of the world today is in the tongue. So that doesn't mean it's the most powerfulest energy. It's just the weapon that's used by adversaric energies or whatever. So unfortunately, when people hide things, there is no purification. There is no purification. Like you can't just go through life doing shit and think that you're just gonna say, "Hey, forgive me, divine," and everything's gonna work. Nah, because you knew right from wrong. Majority of the time, the most heinous wrongs are when people are literally playing a role that they're not, just to seem as if they're something. Like divine is not watching all of that, and their ultimate goal is to trip up you because you're on the path. A lot of times we see things and we're like, this happened to me. Of course, they do happen like that. But those are not the largest aspects of issues. The largest aspects of issues is when you are truly into what you believe in and whatever that is, like you're truly on a high vibrational energy. And I don't want to keep using those particular terms, but it's the best way to classify it. Whenever you're in something good for yourself, that's for you, right? And you have a mastery of it, right? Supreme Rising, and you have a mastery of it, right? What happens is that energy comes off of you as a frequency. Now, let's keep in mind, we keep thinking of aura as something you have to try to, your power around you. Your aura is a real thing. It's intangible with your physical flesh. So your aura sits inside your epidermis, right? Whether you know it or not. So you can't see what the energy that comes off, but you do have electromagnetism pumping through your body. So it gives off an aura. Now, this is particular because while you're happy and you're in your divine energy and you're not really on the scientific aspect of it, that's what you're showing the world. And if you are highly meditated, you can look at somebody and squint your eyes a little bit and it looks like clear light bends around them. That's what it looks like. It doesn't have an actual color. But if you look kind of at the person off from them, or something that's natural, like an animal or a tree or something like that, depending on the vibration of the area, you can look to the side of it and you can see the aura. Because it's not a direct thing. You don't stare at it like this. You know what I'm saying? But if you look at it from the side and kind of put your eyes at the peripheral, you can see the clear bend around whatever the people, person, place, or thing. And sometimes, depending on the person, you'll see a color. Now that color is what? Impurities in the water. You know what I'm saying? So we have chakras, but unfortunately, when a person is bleeding out one color on the outside, that means that's that energy coming out of them. And majority of the time, you don't know who these people are because they're good at manipulating what they are. So the reason why I'm saying this way is because divine does protect and guide through every class you're going through. But I employ you guys to become the master discerners on a whole nother level, because these abilities can actually attribute, and you can also add them to a new way of thinking if you take it higher that only you'll be able to access. Now, like I said, it's only certain levels that I can access to, but I can use it to see. And in this path of my life, I've just been being calm because I see so many more negative attributes trying just to push me off of the line. Like if I'm walking a tightrope and how it's working and how it's supposed to work, despite the information and how I give it out, energies will try to find a way to still point blame despite their own function and contribution to their own existence. Like they don't want to take no accountability, but people will flip it and try to have it sound. It's weird. I don't digress to negative nothing, but I try to play a role as far as benefiting certain values, right? As far as being helpful. But then you'll see as you rise that that negative energy will look right at you and say, "You are this." The fuck are you talking about? Right? Hold on one second. I just knocked down like all my gear and shit. Shit just fell down. Hold on, I just gotta straighten my stuff out real quick. Cause I'm sitting on this chair. I don't normally sit on this chair. Uh, Supreme Rising. What talk about? Oh yeah. We're speaking about when you're in your higher vibration and you start to get higher past certain understandings, right? And you get to a certain level that you're comfortable with, and that comfortable level that you're with, you're going to attract energies outside of that value, but unbeknownst to you, you're going to be probably putting out the energy that shows that, because majority of the time we don't see how high our vibration looks off of us. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't know what that looks like. And you don't even know that you're being noticed. You don't know that you're attracting somebody that sees that on you. So I was explaining how you're able to see your own vibration, right? And it looks like a clear bend. The aura that comes off of you when you're in a high vibration, it literally sits in your epidermis because your blood carries the frequency of what you are, which creates electromagnetism. And as that's spinning around your body, it's giving off the feel of what you are. So unbeknownst to us, while we're doing good in the world, we feeling good about whatever understanding, mastery, however we getting, there's things outside of you that are watching that. And while they're watching you, they may come and oppose themselves as other things. And you'll see a pattern within how they move digress to the understanding of what they portray. And despite that, divine allows the test to play out just so you could have diligence in your standpoint of what you are and who you are. Unfortunately, people in the world believe that other people are in cause of their own actions when they give shortcomings to their own mechanism of digressing as far as how life shows up for them or whatever. And despite any of that, majority of the people can't move a rock or a stone in their life. They can't do anything. They'll sit there and just let their minds fuck them all the way over. And you'll see this happen in so many templates. So then the respect to the value of what divine truly gives for them to liberate themselves is never appreciated. It's never appreciated. It becomes like, and I seen this crazy cartoon clip earlier. I posted it on Facebook, but it was about this Japanese village, right? And they found it was like this type of thing that was floating in the water, and they caught it with the net. But when it got cut or whatever, when a barnacle popped off, it'll be like pearls falling out of it. So the animal was like a mystical creature or whatever. So the poor village, they didn't know what to do with it, but it sneezed one time and snot fell on the women, and if they wiped themselves off, all the women was beautiful. They was back to like teenage years. They would for poverty, the it would just give them pearls or whatever. These people got so greedy. They got greedy with the blessings that the entity was giving them, and it at first they started worshiping it, giving it love, you know what I'm saying, giving like items to it and stuff like that. But the greed took over because they wanted things to happen how they wanted to happen for themselves. And what happened was they went to the beast and they started cutting it open and tearing it apart, and diamonds and gold and everything fell out of it. And the Most High came to the entity and was like, are you sad that they killed you? And this is the spirit version of it. It's like, are you sad that they killed you? And he was like, no. And he's like, why? He's like, because I proved that this creation is only about materials. I proved that they're truly selfish in their existence. Now, this is a divine being talking to celestial. Like, I'm like, yo, this is insane right here. I'm like, why? Like, yo, this, like, nobody knows the conversations or can ever hear a celestial conversation or even what that looks like. Despite the stories that the world tell, you don't know how many entities actually stayed in line to follow the divine pretense all the way. You don't know. You just got a punk ass story from somebody else that they gave you. That's all you know. You don't know how many accomplishments actually serve the purpose of divinity, which is probably eons worth. You don't know. So you don't know what's in service of divine that's representing divine because you can't see. So if they give you a story of one big bad guy, you know what y'all do? Y'all start acclimating to that shit like it's power. I'll be like, yo, this shit crazy, yo. It's a million ants in just one handful. It's like 1,000 breaths in a half a day. It's like 2 trillion sips of water just leaning over in a river. Like, there's abundance everywhere. And you think that one situation has divine in a headlock? Like, that's retarded. Anyway, despite the notion, most people are weak like that, so they get washed up by circumstantial situations and then they end up following it. That's those kinks in your armor. That's how that shit slides in there and it takes over, and then you start acting indifferent. Acting, see, acting is what the world taught you was Hollywood, but in effect to its own value, it's an act. An act is something you do. That means it's not something you are. So when people are acting different, something is controlling them. What the fuck wrong with you? All right. And be the reality of it all. And this is why I was delivering it to some of you beautiful hearted people out there, because not for nothing, while you're in your transition and you're walking with divine and you're doing the right thing, you're going to be attacked in certain ways, and it's going to make you want to step out of that goodness energy. Don't be fooled to trade out something that's priceless for something that's not important at all. That's the big flip right there. Like, majority of the time, you end up spending something that's your value just for nothing. You give away all the most precious things just for nothing. And it's because they can get at you in a certain way. There's not nothing in this world that's ever going to be an attachment. Supreme Rising, I'm sorry. Yeah, but there's never an attachment in this world that's more heavier, right, than the actual connection to what gives us everything in the first place. So when you have these digressions to people always equating to the weakest notion of their own particular reality with no wherewithal, you have to know what you're dealing with. And sometimes divine will have you sit there and deal with it just because it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not going to change from that. So, like, it's different being genuine for the divine or people thinking that they have control over the way you feel. That's not a reality. When you walk with the divine, your feelings are absolute at its high. So that means you can give the best of everything. And once that is not appreciated, you can go back to the divine. Like, you always going to be good regardless of the fact. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think a lot of those things end up being inadmissibles to us as far as how the focus of change is going to take place. I don't want to be in divine business. I'm not that damn nosy. Like, I'm not trying to know everything divine does. And it's not even for us to know. I mean, I think that was the unfathomable comprehension. But when you try to break retrospects that ain't got shit to do with you, you know what you end up doing? Doing a bunch of shit that ain't for you. being in a bunch of situations that don't represent you, losing things you had of value. All the structures that are not held up by divinity ends up being on weak platforms. They end up being on weak foundations. No matter how you look at it, it's gonna fall. If you keep trying it in different ways, it's gonna fall. It's just inevitable. You don't know that yet because you think in your mind somewhere you're gonna do something you've never done, like create a earth, like make a sun circulator system, like like have a ground so stable 9 billion people can walk on it. Yeah, but you special. Nah, you special at your 999 or your application ceremony or at your college, whatever. That shit is retarded to me. Like people don't never value they don't never put the equate to the value to equal up to what the Almighty is doing. But everybody want to wear shoes that your feet can't fit. And at the same time, you think that you have attributes to disrespect other aspects in this world. No, that this is truly delusion. This is the most ultimate delusion ever. Like, and I'm like, I get some people getting an opportunity to step into their placements. I ain't talking to them because they know what I'm talking about. They know what I'm talking about. And this is a long ass chain that we pulling mud out of the river, hoping to get the best parts out so we can spray that down and keep on moving. But it ain't really working too much because of obliviousness, right? And that's fine too, because divine said lack of knowledge and the sadness that we will all feel from the destruction of people not having that, knowledge. So this is ultimate. It's absolute. You can't get around that. You may watch it take place and be like, damn, that's sad. I really thought, you know, I even say this, I've been saying this shit for years. Like, I ain't never really met too many people who can stand up the test of time. Everybody talk a good game, but they can't really walk that walk. And you know why I'm a good placement for comprehension that because I had no choice but to walk with the divine by myself my whole life. That's all I ever had. That's all I ever had, the divine. You know what I'm saying? Even when I was confused and I didn't know it, nobody would tell me. I had to go by what I felt. And if that feeling wasn't my first thought and it ended up being my second thought, that second thought would get me in trouble. And I'd be sitting there like, damn, why ain't I knew what to do. Damn. And divine be like, yup. Remorse is powerful with the Almighty because it shows your intention. What did divine say? I know your heart. So the intention that you carry, you might do things because you're imperfect. That don't mean you meant to do it. You know what I'm saying? Or yeah, I don't know. Um, you know, yeah. So still in all, what's already washed up is already going down the drain. It's already going down the drain. Like it's nothing that you have to try to convince to a value. It's already gone. So it has nothing else left to do. Kind of like when we was in school when we was young, and it'd be like the last days of school. Like the last few days of school, and you ain't got no homework. Like, what are we supposed to do? You so used to being in school, like looking, it's like, yo, we gonna have a party, we gonna have candy, to do whatever y'all want. I'm actually going home. It's kind of like that. So everything that's stupid and dumb, they just doing whatever they want with no validation, and they need to connect to something that sees them as important. But I don't pay attention to bullshit. I can't. It's not even a part of my comprehension. It's like if I look at bullshit, it starts to blur out. You know what I'm saying? Like I try to like look at it. I try to be a part of it. But when you high vibration, like I just don't pick my toes all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like I'd rather just wash my feet and get the fungus off. Like my toes looking nice right now. You know what I'm saying? Like that's because I take care of my shit. So I ain't even got no dead skin to pick off my feet because my feet clean. So even at the bottom of me, I'm equal. So even things that are lesser than that, I don't pay attention to it because it ain't even at the bottom of my feet. Like I don't remember last time I wiped my ass. So it's not like I'm gonna continue to, look at things that don't hold me no value. You know what I'm saying? And I really don't because it's really giving every inch and every minute waking understanding to divine. You know what I'm saying? Because divine is giving me everything just to breathe. You know what I'm saying? It's unfortunate that everybody don't get that. You know what I'm saying? So some people are just gonna be mad for the rest of their life. And I ain't got nothing to do with me. It really don't. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't really digress to a lot of stupid shit. I try to give plenty of love though. Like I'll give plenty of love up into the fact to where you think that I'm soft or you gonna do something to me or whatever. And then things get different because I'm gonna protect myself no matter what. But I don't raise my voice and I'm not gonna argue I'm not going to do nothing. I'm just going to stay in my own energy. Just don't try to do anything physical. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that'll be cute. It won't be cute for a lot of people, but I'm just saying, like, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's real life. I give my praises to the Most High every day. I don't put my feet on the floor without asking Divine to go before me. And no matter what comes with the day or what's not a part of the day, it doesn't matter. If it's in the day, that's because it's strong enough to be a part of light. If it's not there, then that means it ain't strong enough. Like I don't hold no value to anything, and I don't judge. I don't be like this. You fucking still. I don't do shit like that. That shit is retarded. Because Divine told us we're all in. Pointing a finger at you means what? It does nothing for me. It doesn't give me no validation or make me feel bad to make somebody feel down. You know what I'm saying? Like, if anything, you would have to be opposite of divine to actually digress to those things. And that's the sad part. You know what I'm saying? When we have a reality of certain energies that exist, but you don't even know it's around. You know what I'm saying? Some people will tuck themselves away behind a wall and just so they can talk shit online. I seen this guy, yo, and he was like this dude. I guess this white guy was married to this black girl. You know what I'm saying? And this other guy got on there dissing the black girl, the dude's wife. So I guess the guy didn't think that it was easy for him to get, you know what I'm saying? It was easy for him to get his his number or whatever. So dude was like, "Hey, what's going on?" And dude was like, "Hello, who is this?" He was like, "Yeah, I'm so and so, and I just wanted to, yeah, cause you was on my post, man, and you was talking about black this, black that, da 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 da." And he was like, "Oh, wait, no, I was just making a stupid post. It wasn't serious. I wasn't really, it wasn't." And then dude started stuttering, so it was crazy. But they recorded the whole thing, right? So it was funny how, it's funny how to see when people are caught up in certain emotions, how afraid they are based off their own actions. And a reality to life is if you're like that in the streets, you're gonna shit on yourself when you see the people. Like real people who move like that. And before social media was like that, let somebody be talking shit to somebody. And then you come down the street with like 80 of your dudes and they over there acting like, because back in the day, people used to do that to try to make themselves look good to girls. Oh, that dude ain't nothing I do. I'm this, I'm that. And they be like, oh, you the man, right? Like, and then the homeboy, his man's coming to the block. He's like, oh, I got to go to work. Where you going? Where you got to go to work now? Here comes so-and-so and them you was talking about. Let's talk about what you was saying earlier. Nah, they want to get up out of Dodge. So social media made that shit real easy for people, yo. Nobody cares, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like, bullying and words is not a form of, it's not a form of violence or a form of aggression. It's actually a form of fear. We know that. Everybody on social media in any place that ever been around real people know that that's not a form of aggression. That's all you can do. That's like saying I'm gonna throw a rock. Why you ain't just go fight? I got a rock. You better sit your punk ass down somewhere. That's why people talk so damn much. They soft. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't got no negativity for nobody. I really don't. Just don't think you're going to be bringing none to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I live. Like, I live truly with divine. And everything I go across, I try to give it something. I try to show it love. You know what I'm saying? Like, I try to embrace it in the best way, form, and possible, even out of the fact that I'm imperfect. Because it's not going to be done great. We're here imperfect. There's nothing about us perfect. We bleed. I've been working out every day. My body ripping up and everything. I feel good. Strong strength and everything. I could go for a long time. Always been a person of energy and stamina. I can still take a razor and cut my flesh and bleed. I've had my tendons cut and had to have them sewed back together to where my thumb folded in like this, and never thought I was going to be able to use my thumb again, and had to pull it out and make it to where I can use my full hand again. What I'm trying to get you to understand is life don't work based off what you concept. Your conception tool is flesh. It's weak. Okay? This is why we believe in things outer or farther away from the idealism of how we are concepted. That's where our power comes from, because the same we see outside of that we can't physically see is the same energy that charges us or animates this body. Don't forget you are animated. You're just not alive. You're animated, because without the energy source, your body would turn to a pile of meat and it would start to rot. That rot that comes in creates an enzyme into your body, and it says decay. When it says decay, decay starts to other enzyme out to where it breaks down the physical body itself, acids and everything increase their value. Maggots and bugs and other, they'll eat your body down to nothing. So now that we know this to be a fact, okay, you seen roadkill, you know this to be a fact. What greatness do you think lies in your flesh besides containment? Yeah, I thought so. So with that being said, a lot of things shouldn't even be addressed. If a person is big and they're trying to be intimidated, that's because if they're trying to be intimidating, that's because they're fucking scary. Listen to what I'm telling you. A person who's real big and they got all the power and they trying to, you're fucking pussy. Because you don't have to do that. And you know that, but they'll do it anyway. Over loud people. They're afraid not getting attention. That's why they be loud. Look at me. Da, 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 da. It falls in every single form of fashion, yo. Unfortunately, this is just the levels of imperfection that the flesh deals with. Doesn't make it something to point out. It doesn't make it laughable. It doesn't make it, oh, you're wrong for this, neither. It makes people human, yo. It makes people imperfect. It makes people gullible. It makes people naive. It makes people over happy. It makes people sad sometimes. It makes people super whatever in the head. Your head done blew up this big, your head this big, your confidence large, your confidence small, whatever. It makes every single facet of reality come into existence. Back in the 80s, when you seen somebody be shy like that, or you seen somebody didn't have what it took to go further, you embraced them. That's how we became friends and shit. Like when you saw somebody was shy, and be like, don't worry about it, yo, come hang with us. People don't do that no more. You know what y'all do? Y'all tear each other down in their vulnerabilities. Divine said, I know your heart. Y'all keep looking at religion like it's supposed to be something served in a couple days out of the week. No, spirituality is your entire existence. It's how you have camaraderie with people. It's how you love your family. It's how you show up every day. It's the energy you use to keep pushing through. It's the energy you call on when you have nothing left. This is what all this is telling you. It fills every single facet that's inside of you. And if you're trying to put it compartmentalized to what man is saying, you're missing the whole idealism of what spirituality is supposed to do for you. It's your entire life. It's also your roadmap back to your original house. So we got to stop letting it go in different ways. Unfortunately, my brother's children are not in their area. One thing got nothing to do with the next. But all the science that was there is laid out for how everybody can be treated in the highest version. So it's not a such thing as manipulating here on this earth. It's a thing that people do, but it's not real. It's not real. Something has to watch everything to play a role. You know, a fish brain doesn't have enough equate to understand certain things that's taking place. That's why they get eaten. Like some animals is made for food. You know what I'm saying? They got this big fish that'll float around in the water. You'll eat half his body. It don't even feel nothing. Literally, like, it'll be like 10% of his body left, the head, and just 2 went, and that's still swimming like, it ain't even dead. I'm like, yo, I seen a roach time. You got to ask yourself, why are some of these things like this? Well, because other animals got to eat. The world has to survive. You know what I'm saying? So it happens like that. But on the highest food chain of mentality, it was never supposed to happen with people. You wasn't supposed to bring an animal to civilization. That's like putting a bull in a china shop. No, where we're civil at, we know how to pick up packaging and unwrap stuff and use a knife and a fork and speak to people with correctness. We know how to do that. That's what it means to be an adult. But when you're a savage, you know what you think? You think to remove people out of the way. You think to hurt people and damage people. That's what savages do. You know what I'm saying? Maybe somewhere on the food chain, not the top, not the bottom, but somewhere in the middle. Yeah, you're going to think like, you know what, I can attack, nip, and rip. Yeah. You can't get away from these ways of thinking, even if you want to classify them in any way you want. There's not a place on this earth that allows naturally the conversation that an individual will be separate from. You got vines that choke the shit out of the biggest trees ever, and they look beautiful together. But they're two different species, right? You got the ocean and the sand that contrast so beautifully. Mountains and the forest, they contrast beautifully. A starry night sky against a fall ground, they contrast beautifully. Everything that makes a beauty is based off you experiencing it. So most of you people that have hate in your heart, shut the fuck up and go experience something. It's the problem. You're sheltered. You're tender. Your parents was tender. So they told you to hate everything that would damage everything that you are. And they look at it as damage because they knew you couldn't learn from it because they knew weakness. That's them enabling you. But if they didn't allow you to get melanin in your body, the right amount of sunlight, and let you walk barefoot and be up under nature, then you wouldn't be so soft and got to run your mouth all the time. The only extremity that you got that really can't do nothing but spit and chew. See, that's how you know intelligence don't really sit too far with certain entities. It's weird, right? When you really can think and then think about what's being used, you're like, wow, yo. And I'm actually playing a role mentally with this understanding. That's why I said the other day, the solution is arguing with exile or arguing with what's controlled by exile. Y'all need to wake up too, because exile can't even do what y'all do. At least y'all can do what y'all can do. Exile can't do none of that shit. So it got you believing you more like that. And then you coming over here fucking with the Supreme like Divine ain't about to turn you into lunch meat. You see it every day. Motherfuckers turning red talking about what they gonna do and then got to take your ass back somewhere. Tender. Tender, yo. You ain't gotta like me. I don't care. But the more you keep lying to yourself, the harder it's gonna get. Because the earth is changing. It's growing up. So as she get bigger, she gonna need more sun. You know what I'm saying? She gonna need more. The other half of her, he, is gonna need more. They gonna turn up. And they're gonna give off energy signatures that only certain things are gonna be able to absorb onto. And then now you're gonna be looking for help. That's when your hand gonna be like, can you help me? But then 50 years gonna seem like it ain't never happened. 100 years ago, oh, that. That's how it is now. Oh, that's what my people did. If you don't have resistance in your blood and you don't have empathy in your heart, what the fuck you think you're going to get from the original people? You can have any legislation you want. If you don't know how to come correct, what you think you're going to get? Best y'all got is a post right now. Like, I'm going to talk trash. Are you this? Are you that? I'm going to say this in the post and I hope it makes them mad. Like, yo, these motherfuckers is lame as hell. You ain't got nothing else. You should think about that in the mirror. Like, I'm going to write something. Remember back in the day, they made clowns out of your own culture. They was like, yo, the best y'all had was writing a letter. You get real mad. I'm going to write a letter, and then you go to write a letter and send it to somebody. Like, that shit means something. If you ain't never had nothing, how can you lose something? If divine gives you back everything that's taken back, who can steal it? You know how many times I've been on this earth? I've been massacred here before. I've seen a past life of mine that was dreams reoccurring. And I remember this white guy had me in this morgue and he chopped my head off. And I was telling him I wasn't dead yet. I remember that clear as day. And I remember seeing my body in an ice box. It was like in one of those rooms they hung up, like where they do like the cows and stuff. Like my body was in there. And he was like, I got you now. He was like, you ain't gonna save nobody. And that's what he said. It was like, I don't know why. I was having this dream when I was like 11. But I seen myself grown. I just know my face. I seen myself growing. And I had a goatee, like a light beard. Not like the long joint. It was like a light beard. And it was like my mustache was thin, but my dreads were slightly different, but it was still me. But I remember laying on the table and dude chopping sawing my neck off. Like, I remember, and I'm like, yo, why does this feel crazy right here? Like, I didn't even feel it, but I could feel it. Like, it was no actual pain, but I could feel it. And I'm looking at him like, I'm not dead, yo. I'm not dead. I'm not dead. And I kept saying, like, yo, it ain't, I'm coming back, yo. Like, and I'm like, yo, I don't, and I told that to my peoples and everything. And I be hoping somebody can like take that. And then I had another one. I had like, it's like four different reoccurring dreams I have. I have a dream that I was like a samurai warrior and I had like a whole kingdom. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was, I don't know why I feel like that. Like, it's somewhere in that time I was a samurai king and I had a whole kingdom, but I got murdered. I was I was also like either with Tahuti or his student, one or the other, because I keep having reoccurring dreams of me saving a ibis. And after I save an ibis, I go to a mystery school. I've had this so many times. I know I've had at least 7 lives. And that's just what I can count as far as visualization, as far as the memories reoccurring. And they how I know they're memories is because the place and time where I'm placed in these dreams. I'm like, this ain't 2000 nothing. This ain't even 19 nothing. So me being the way I think, I look at these things and I be confused at first, but then I ask divine for understanding and clarity. And it just literally gives me past energy. That's all it gives me is past energy. A lot of people want to change their future to come. You can. It's harder to change your past. You can get understanding on what your past is, but you can change your future before it gets there. And here I'm going to tell you before I get off. Okay. So if you guys are listening, tighten up. This will be a good one. And people are retarded. So this is what you could do to change your future. All right. So meditation is powerful. Um, it's just not the scope of trying to manifest something physically right now. We live in a place of resistance. All right. Everything that you do, it should be a resistance. Not trying to let it out like I'm this, I'm that, and I no, resist the anger, resist the need, resist and let divine walk that path for you. Every time you resist, the energy handles it for you better. Now, putting this in a totality. When you can meditate and you can reach an alpha state, that state is not just for it's just not for a peace or slowing your heart rate down. It's a high form of consciousness, but you have to be melanated to do that. So unfortunately, if you're not gonna get the split. Melanin can be in 3 places at one time. This is how this works. So even unbeknownst to you that it happens, it does it regardless. So when you're meditating and you can access that alpha wave, which is the most calmest you can be, that gives you the opportunity to create fortuitive growth. What is that fortuitive growth? How you want to see yourself in the future, what you want to be a part of. Everything is an energetic signature anyway. So if I'm meditating and I'm in my alpha state, that means I'm the architect at that moment. Hmm? Listen, pay attention. That means I'm the architect at that moment. I have to get to that state first. So now I'm in that state. It's going to be a lot of thoughts that's going to come to your head because the soul knows what needs to be balanced in your body and you really don't know. You just feel things out. So if you can get to that point and maintain that thought when you get to the alpha state and then start rebuilding yourself like a caricature. I'm so serious. You start building yourself up. Like, I want to be like this. I want to have this style. I want to have that. Not in an arrogant way, like seriously. Like, this is where I want to be in this amount of time. See it. Give it. Watch yourself walk around. You're in meditative state. This is where your imagination is the most realist. If this is possible, what'll happen is you'll start imagining what you can be, and divine will take that imagination and throw it clear across the universe. And you won't even know why your thoughts are even going that high up. You'll be like, wait, I'm seeing a bunch. I have no control over this. This is how you know you've walked past the alpha state. This is how you know you're in a supreme mind. Because at that point, you can't think on what's actually taking place. It's just happening. So that's divine guiding you at that point. If you can get to that state, you can pretty much implicate anything you want to be in your future, right? You can start saying how this happens, whatever. And what happens is when you come back to solidify your energy here on Earth, the adversary can see your new menu list, so to speak. And what happens is, as that menu list is manifesting for you, as you go every day, as you breathe every day, just you ain't got to put much, you just breathing. Boop, boop. You know what I'm saying? So they're like, no, he's tapping into the divine energy. We can't let them know they can do that. See, y'all keep thinking it takes more. No, divine energy is just what it is. It's everything. It's all. It doesn't take effort. It's not even yours. You borrow it. So that means the more authentic you are to access that and you know what you have access to, then that's what you'll do. And if you really want to cause beef, if you really want to cause beef, some real magical, mystical, negative shit happens, some shit to scare y'all life to death, because that's what y'all want to do, really walk with the divine. If you want to see, and I'm serious, like if you want to see an actual something come, go walk with the divine for real and watch what comes around you. They're not going to let you stay there, especially if you've been dark so long. Hell no, they're not going to let you. So all that y'all don't believe, you don't, whatever. You want to see it happen? One of you negative people get devout. And I ain't even talking about religion. Just get devout. Just every day. Divine go before me. Divine go before me. All praise to the Most High. Good, bad, and indifferent. Just do it every day. Don't stop. Put your hardest sincerity in it. If you a badass, and you always been a badass, I promise you, as soon as you walk that path, they coming in. This is not me. This is not me exaggerating anything. This is not me putting no sprinkle of seasoning on it. If you are a badass and you choose divine, they're coming. You don't have to believe me. I've seen so many things. And like I told you, when you walk with the divine, there's not a such thing as fear, yo. It don't exist. When divine is your authority for real, you don't feel nothing towards anything else ever again. You feel love and stuff like that, but like the negative shit, that shit falls off. Because you know ain't nothing stronger than the Almighty. And it's not a conversation, it's a knowing. So I've seen smudges. I've seen spirits like somebody took a dirty sponge and just wiped the air in front of me and it's just standing there. And I'm like, it's just there. Like I'm playing in this stuff. I'm like, what is this? Like I'm serious. I've seen a lot. I've seen something that looks like it's weird, yo. It's like if you want to call it like a gremlin cross with a gargoyle or something, and it was on this white family's house, like on their back fence when I lived in this neighborhood, and I'm in the shadows, like I'm in the cut, and it's crazy because I'm in the shadows in a way to where I know if I step out of the shadows, you can see me, but I'm in the shadows like that, so I'm looking from the corner, like with this side. And soon as that thing was about to turn and look at me, something said move before the head turns. And I moved before the head turned, so then I wasn't even in the view of it. But when I came back to look and see it was there, it jumped off the fence. It was on the person's house. I've seen too many things over my life, yo, and I don't talk about it because there's nothing to talk about. I just know what divine said is real. It is real, fully. Fully. It's creations, yo. It's mad creations here on earth. It's not such thing as something extra. What's extra is what you don't see as normal. See, the tender people are going to classify things like that because they can't handle no level of pressure. If the real creations was walking around here every day, man, talking about fear, y'all will be feeding your own people with fear. The archons you serve and all that negative shit, y'all be dealing with them demons. Yeah, y'all be feeding them with your own fear. If you saw what's really going on. But unfortunately, you don't get a chance to tap in that high. But it's so much negative energy. Sometimes I'll be sitting there with my dog, yo, and my dog be looking in the sky. It don't be a damn thing in the sky. My dog will go crazy, looking in the sky. I will lay on the ground just to look, to see whatever my dog is looking at. Because I'm like, yo, what you barking that crazy for? What's in the sky? Neck up like this, going bananas. And then go in the doghouse like, let me get out of here, yo. I don't know what that is. I'll meditate on it, yo. Sometimes the sky a part a certain way and the light shines, clouds will look like numbers. I'm like, why is that a big? It's crazy and very unfathomable. Everybody wants to put a name on something, a title on something, a phenomenon on something. Life don't work like that, yo. And I don't think y'all really getting it fully. It's y'all keep thinking it's something you're gonna sit down and pray about and all this. No, you're not praying. Why does Almighty have to pray? Supreme has to pray? No, you have a communication. You have a real communication, yo. This is why you're gaining a relationship. You forgot you had one. This is not about if you don't do right, you're going to get in trouble and have to stand in a corner. It's not that. If you don't learn these things and absorb them, you won't admit them. Your soul is tiny right now. It's almost like it's tiny. In order for it to be its full version, it has to fill up on everything. So when you get so bright, you can give that light to something else. You come from a place of giving. What you think is going to be the outcome of so many cycles? Cycles. What's a cycle? Energy going like this. You don't see the energy spinning around you right now because your flesh and your contribution to concept that is minuscule. So you don't see the electromagnetism spinning around you constantly. They do. That's why they try to keep the temperatures a certain way. Because if you rise up, we're going to turn the planet to a sun. They don't want that. It's too hot for them. They need to be in a place that's cold. So they like, we got to control it because it's the only place we can be right now. No, it's not. That's not how it's going to work. It's either you're going to acclimate or you're going to disintegrate. That's what always has happened here. It got so hot that things turned to stone. It baked. You know, when you bake something like clay, pottery, it turns to stone. You know, there's a lake under the ocean. Well, ocean's under the ocean. It's full of silica. Did you know that? When the Titanic plate shift a certain way, that pressure from that water come busting through the ocean. It's so much pressure that it'll reach up to the height of where space is. And when that rains down, it covered Earth. Do you know what silica does? It turns you to stone instantly. I'm not talking about a short period of time. I'm talking about instantly. I'm talking about like, you know, maybe a week or 2, 3 months. No. Silica turns you to stone. Like this. You take a sip, within seconds, your whole organs on the inside. You done. Silica water, that real precious silica water, yeah, it's going to turn you to stone. Petrified wood and all that. What y'all think? What you think the mountains are? It's wood. It's wood with solidified silica that has went through it and changed the stone. That's what it is. Statues that they say, oh, these mountains look like people and all. Silica water. Silica water. That's what they not telling nobody. This place that we're living on has been bodies after bodies after bodies. We live in a graveyard. It used to be a big 2 bodies. 2 big giant bodies, and then they fought. 2 big bodies fought. You would never be able to fathom what that is. I've had dreams and I've seen bodies through my meditations that they're like dormant. But they're like in lines in the universe, and the sun is like this big to them. Like that big. And these bodies are giant in the universe. Fucking huge. That's why I don't even be talking about all the stuff I really be knowing, because people think they too important. You don't see how significant you are, and you also don't see how great you are at the same time. So, yeah, Satan ain't the epitome. Adversary energy ain't the epitome of nothing. It'll never be. And unfortunately, people don't know that. And fear and all that stuff, it gravitates to the weaker parts of life because it's fucking weak, yo. That's just what it is. When you're weak, you're fucking weak. Everything you're going to do is going to be weak. And you're not going to see it like that. You're just going to justify stupidity. All praises to the Most High. At the end of the day, it is what it's going to be. Love it or hate it. I like that 50 Cent song. Love it or hate it, the underdogs on top. Because I'm going to shine, homie, until my heart stop. Go ahead and envy me. I'm Rap's MVP. Go ahead and get to know me. I ain't going to hold y'all, yo. NAGA The Wise. Supreme. We still going and I didn't press it. Let me go.